Alright guys, for this one right here, we're going to be looking back at the Mark Coleman, the godfather of the ground and pound, former tournament UFC heavyweight winner versus Fedor Emelianenko, arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time. Much anticipated fight back in the day. So here we go. Fedor coming from a combat sambo and judo background. Mark Coleman from folk style wrestling. So there we go. Starts clinching up. It's obviously right off the bat who's the more strongest of the two. But Mark Coleman doing a great job here with the overhook or the wizard, trying to keep Fedor down. Fedor's trying to defend, trying to protect himself. Does a great job of rolling over. Okay, so right here, he's got this knee up and this knee down. So what he's trying to do here is that he's trying to get this hook of Mark Coleman away from his hips. Okay, so whenever you see somebody like this, the knee that is up, that is the side, and that is the same side arm, they're going to reach down to the heel and peel it away, meaning they're going to remove it from the side. Mark Coleman's doing a great job of staying on top of him. He's not too high up past the shoulders, but he's kind of in that weird position where he kind of is and kind of isn't. Okay, so as you saw, Fedor kind of dove a little bit forward, a little bit of him and a little bit of Mark Coleman pulling on the armpit here. But notice how Fedor fell down. The leg that was the knee that was up in the air, when he fell down, he kicked it back, and now it's kind of straightened down. So let me see if I can rewind it here for a second. Okay, so he's got the hook. Watch, he's gonna go forward, kicks the leg back a little bit, right there. Okay, so Fedor is doing this move right here. He is holding on and pulling on this elbow, even though it looks like Mark Coleman has the choke, but he doesn't. So he's going to try to use this grip right here. Fedor's going to use this grip to try to turn on his knees and face Mark Coleman. But we'll see what he does. And he's also pulling it up and over his face to protect the choke. To defend against the choke. So right there he's defending. I mean, he's not in danger, but he is a little bit, okay? So one thing that you notice is that Fedor... he's got Mark Coleman is turning his head that way. Fedor reaches in, defends, creates a little bit of a pocket in here, and he will force his chin over to the crease of the elbow, of Mark Coleman's elbow. And you can see back there is chuckle down. So right there. Mark Coleman tries to go for the RNC finish, but as you can see here, Fedor's chin is way too low. His cheekbones is kind of right here in front of the elbow crease. And that causes that grip to be very shallow and very loose, as you see right here on Mark Coleman's arm. Mark Coleman is reaching over for the bicep, but you know, it could be a combination of his arms being too big. Fedor's doing a great job of defending. Fedor has the big head. You never know, that it's causing that grip to be very shallow. So he lets it go. He's trying to regain his control. And Fedor's just defending again the choke entry, because he's figured out that Mark Coleman likes to enter with his right hand. So Fedor has his own left hand protecting this right side. Right there, he captures that hand. And the whole time that he's doing that, keep an eye on this leg. He keeps trying to kick it out. Okay, he's trying to kick it out, trying to make this hook of Mark Coleman shallow. And he's trying to figure it out. So right here, he does something pretty interesting. And again, this is some high level grappling in itself, so a lot of nuances to it. So he brings the knee up, then he's going to try to kick it down, I believe, and then he's going to try to point the knee that way. This will make this hook of Mark Coleman very shallow. He straightens it out, push it over to that side. You see that? So right there, that gives him the opportunity to reach with that hand and pull the shoe or the foot over his thigh. There's a lot of times in jiu-jitsu where they say don't ever do that, but in this situation, that's a good reaction from Fedor's point of view. It's going to allow him to twist around and face Mark Coleman. He pulls it away as he takes a couple shots, and right there he spins. So Coleman's foot is over here, Fedor's hips is over here, so he's gonna bridge into him. So when he bridges into him, he will push Mark Coleman back against that corner. So he's pushing into him with Fedor's right shoulder, giving him access to turn that hip. Right there, see that? Even though he also reached with his hand, as you saw right here, to help him turn over. Right there, he's using his left hand to reach behind Mark Coleman's head. But he's able to do that because this is no longer trapped with a hook. So he's able to turn. Right away, he goes in for this front headlock guillotine choke position. He's trying to get it. I mean, it's tight for sure. Coleman's just gutting it out, man. You can see that in his face. He's like, just gutting it out. Boom. Nice. Good follow-up. Good knees. Oh, that right there would have been a really cool takedown for Mark Coleman. But as you can see, Fedor instinctively reaches for the ropes and does a good job of defending the takedown for now. Boom. Right there. Coleman was very successful in following and being aggressive with the takedown, and you can see in Fedor's face that he's kind of taking a deep breath. A little bit frustrated, but he's taking a deep breath. He chooses not to go immediately into the close guard, rather keep it open, and he's got his leg out here like this, and he's got it up and over and hooking over here by the shin. Sometimes you'll see him do it with both feet, but this is kind of the equivalent of the half guard lockdown position, and this is meant to keep the hips back. That way Mark Coleman doesn't build up into a higher posture and then has the ability to ground and pound him a lot harder. So it's just to neutralize a lot of the power and to neutralize a lot of the control that Mark Coleman has within this desired position that he wants. Because after all, he is the godfather of ground and pound, and this is where he made his name, from inside the guard. As you can see, he's trying to, but that hook right there prevents him from bringing his knee further up, which makes it very hard for him to properly punch down on Fedor. And so you saw him, he switched his knees, so now this knee is up in the air, and so then Fedor used the other side to hook on the other shin. And then when this knee goes down and this knee and the other knee goes up, he's just gonna switch his other leg over and hook. Oh man, this is a thing of beauty. So let's rewind right here. So Mark Coleman is trying to tripod. He's trying to come off his knees so that he can try to punch hard on him, ground and pound him, right? Hence the nickname. Fedor is trying to set him up, and he's trying to push his hips back. But Coleman achieves his desired height, his desired position, but Fedor is going to feel that, and he's already kind of priming himself, turning his head that way, because he's going to try to attack this arm. So right there. So he knew that this punch was coming just because the way the position was on Coleman. So he waited for that. He felt the arm posted right there to his neck. So he captures it with this arm. And then he is going to use his inside of the leg and push off Coleman's elevated hip. As he does that, this left leg of Fedor is going to shoot up into the right armpit of Coleman. Fedor's left arm is going to shoot for the underhook on Coleman's right knee to keep it down and give him the angle, and that all of that will allow the projection of his hips up and over his head. Oh man, this is Jiu-Jitsu 101. This is an armbar from the guard 101. You know, Rickson Gracie's armbar was like this. There was no 1, 2, 3 kind of steps. It was just you're in the guard, and then you swing your hips up, you captured it into the armbar. One thing here that you have to understand is that Fedor, he has to do that because he's trying to bring his hips up high and deep into Mark Coleman's armpit. Okay? So watch again how he kind of bumps up. Right there. Man, I said that's smooth. So that allows Mark Coleman's forward momentum to go past Fedor as Fedor spins underneath him, as you see right there. He lets go of the underhook on this leg and he focuses on the wrist right there. Both hips, or the hips are pushing down, thighs are pinching in, his heels are up in the air, his knees are together as much as possible. That's a lot of pressure. Bam! That causes Mark Coleman to tap. But this is the final detail, is that you will see Fedor arch his back. His shoulders go up, his hips go down. That puts the finishing touches on that elbow. Okay? Very, very fast, very subtle. So, there you have it, guys. The fight between Fedor Emelianenko and the godfather of ground and pound, Mark Coleman. Thanks for watching.